Good morning. We're out here at Snow Hill Chapel. We're all staged and ready to start raising our 16 by 30 pergola frame. So one of the things we do is we put up all of our drawings, or just the basic drawings for the frame, so everybody has an idea of what we're doing. One of the parts really only fit together one way, so we want to make sure we put it together. And probably the most critical piece of this is, if you look right here, the pink faces are reference faces on the internal bents, and they only fit in that way. So when you raise it, you have to ensure that that face will end up in this direction in this frame. If we reverse it 180 degrees, the frame won't fit together. It's going to be off. So we just want to make sure we have a couple little checks, and that will allow us to make sure this frame goes up properly. Getting all our tools staged. We got extension cords, got batteries, battery powered tools. We got an assortment of chisels, lifting straps, a few different saws and machines. We got one mortise to do, so we got a chain mortiser here. Yeah, a few more cords. Just kind of getting everything organized the best that we can. Over here's our sign-in table. We've got a release. And then one of the traditions that we really like is we have everybody participating in the raising sign a peg. And then when we put that frame together, we will put all of those pegs into the frame, and folks can write a message to the future, whatever they choose to, and we'll be rolling. So here's some of the tools that we utilize for raising. We got a 4-inch grinder, and we use like about a 36 grit on that. We always carry this big 16 1/4-inch skill saw. That thing is really helpful for a lot of operations. We love this Makita wire brush. That works for raising the grain, and it's a really, really nice finish. We just purchased this Makita battery powered saw, and we kind of like it. It's kind of a nice saw. It's battery powered, and it seems to have enough power. Over here is the go-to. That is the Bigfoot 10 1/4-inch saw. I use that for everything. That is my favorite saw. The only downside of that saw is that the shallowest cut you can make is 1 inch. So if you need something shallower, you're probably going to have to pick up a saw similar to, the 7 1/4. I do like the worm drives, and the worm drive is the long body you're looking at. So the long body indicates a worm drive. It's driven by a gear, very, very powerful. And then our Makita chain mortiser. So we have one additional mortise we need to drill. And this thing is, it's not as nice and quick as a Mafal, but it does the job. And finally, we got anchor seal. We put anchor seal on all of our end grain, and that slows down the check-in. Links for each of these items are in the description. Yeah, got some students here, or some community people. First time running the Makita chain mortiser. Over here, we're working on knee braces, and Peter over there is studying the scarf joints so we can figure out what we're going to actually be doing. Got people signing in, and we're getting everything together to get rolling. So we're prepping some knee braces and cutting away the waste wood for the shoulder using a Ryobi handsaw. We got a knee brace crew over there. And way up there, you can see we're getting ready to get rolling, get started with wall plate. Figuring out where to do it. So you just can kind of see, these are probably the most complicated joints in this whole process. We've got holes for posts, got holes for knee braces, additional holes for posts. additional hole for knee brace. You can see this slopes up where the knee brace slopes towards the post. And if you look down here, that's a scarf joint. So this will end up being joined with that, and it allows us to take the scarf joint and extend this as far in any direction as we want to.
Well, this one goes all the way through, and you got that one. I gathered from.
And here we got posts that are stored there, and then over that way we're working on our rafters. So a little bit of chiseling going on right here to clean up that mortise.
Yeah, because they use.
And that's where the scarf tenon's going to go. It's going to come right in there. So we want that nice and flush and nice and clean. And we just take little bits off at a time. And when we get all done, that's going to be perfectly flat. And the tenon, like that on the other piece, is going to slide right in there. Here we're just doing rafters one at a time based on a template. We kind of got a rafter area set up. We're using a template. We're doing them one at a time. These are pretty straightforward rafters. They are going to screw right to the top of the pergola. And the trick with the rafters is we have to make sure right at the point where the plate contacts the rafters, it's exactly the same height. So since it's rough cut timbers, they may be the same height or they might not be. So what we've got to do is make sure at the spot that the plate comes across here, that those are sized at the same height, which keeps the top of our roof level. And we'll do that with a planer or cut a small notch in it or whatever we need to do to size that properly. And it's just everybody's kind of coordinated. Everybody has different jobs. We've got about 15 people out here working on it. Community project. It's good for the community, and a bunch of bodies makes life a lot simpler, a lot easier. And everything should come together. We plan to have this. We're going to finish our test fitting tomorrow, and we'll start the raising. So we'll be raising probably tomorrow afternoon and a little bit on Sunday. The crew is working on cleaning up the plates. Those are joined with a pretty simple scarf joint, and we want to clean those up, and we want to make sure everything's dialed in. We're doing it on the sawhorses right now because if we're going to have to do it at some point, and it's either doing it on the sawhorses where it's comfortable, or else you're going to be down on our knees messing around. All right, so we've got a good bit of work going on. So over here we're doing knee braces. We are cutting the knee braces, and then those that are a little thick end up getting hand planed. And we're just trying to make sure that they fit up really nicely, so when we put those in, we don't have to fight them. Here we got a tie beam crew going on, and what they're doing is they finished up these knee brace pockets, and they're sizing the tenons. Now what we do with square rule is we reduce everything to 1/2 inch below the timber size. So a 8-inch timber will have a 7.5-inch tenon and a 7.5-inch mortise. And the tenon will be a moose hair undersized so it can fit in. And the reason we do that is it allows us to make everything the same size. You don't have to kind of map everything, so pretty much one piece will fit everywhere, which is the beauty of the square rule. Here we go, going to town with the hand plane. It takes a little bit of practice to do that, but once you get it dialed in, you'd be amazed at the amount of material that you can move utilizing that hand plane. Hang with us. We're at the end of day one. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and do some test fitting and start erasing.